what are you guys trying to accomplish? What's your number one goal here? What are you trying to accomplish with CryptoZin?
I was just going to mention, well, Aaron, in terms of your question of what sets CryptoZin apart, essentially, is that when you join a lot of other of these crypto-based discords or platforms, in terms of the people that are out finding the allocations or the more prominent networkers in these on these platforms, often you find that they're not very engaging with the community. Whereas with CryptoZin, we're all there in the chat with you. We're having daily voice chats and whatnot, and just hanging out. We're talking to everybody, and it's a really personal kind of Discord where everybody knows each other. Like as soon as you go in and say hello, everybody's saying hello to you. Everybody seems to know each other. It's just a really nice place to be, really. Apart from all of the investing in crypto stuff, and I think that's what makes CryptoZin different.
What's going on, cowboy? In this video, I've got a new group for you to join. It's a resource for you, totally free. It's a partnership that I've landed with a big Discord group called CryptoZin, and I've got the minds behind them. Like these four guys are experts. These guys are connecting, making partnerships. These guys are the hustlers in the crypto world. And if you don't have a community, if you don't have a group, you don't have a way to get out there and get to know some of these early on fantastic projects that other people are vetting. It's the whole decentralized part of like research, right? Like you need people that you can trust that have a good eye for these projects to tell you and to like, hey, this is something you might want to check out. If you want an honest group, here's the guys behind CryptoZen. We've got Josh, we've got Ryan, we've got Pete, we've got TK, and they are in the hot seat because we need to know who we could trust out here. It's the Wild West. You and I are just out here watching YouTube videos. We're just out here trying to get in these like weird, dirty telegrams and Discord groups, and we don't know anything about anybody there. But wouldn't it be helpful for you to know the people who are running these particular groups and know that, hey, these guys can be trusted. These guys are sharp, and they probably know a thing or two more than you and me. Anyways, guys, I want to see in the hot seat Josh, Ryan, Pete, and TK. Welcome to the channel, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very
much.
So we are
here.
talking about CryptoZin, and I want to know just a quick, short story about your background coming into crypto, and then we could talk about CryptoZin, the Discord group. Josh, maybe you could go up first.
Yeah, sure, man. So I started in crypto really quite a bit ago, probably about 10 years ago, but only really on a small scale, just doing some like small time investing. And sadly, I didn't hold a lot of stuff from back then. I was more of a trader. But long story short, over the years, I quit my job and I started a couple of e-commerce businesses. And that's when I really was able to focus more time on trading. And after, I would say about 2-3 years ago is when I really started full-time trading crypto, altcoins. And about a year and a half ago, I got bigger into the decentralized stuff on BSC and some of the other chains. And that's pretty much, this is what I do now. So that's it.
Awesome. Ryan, Juicy, how about you?
So I started off doing stocks and Forex about 8 years ago, then moved into crypto around about 2 years to 18 months ago. Found CryptoZin back when it was sub 1,000 numbers, and TK was in charge back then. He was modding it, and joined CryptoZin. It's a great bunch of guys, and just worked my way up. And now between us all here, we're kind of running the show of it.
Good deal. So you guys both come from a trading background. You so more Forex. Pete, how about you? Tell me a little bit about your background.
Much. It's like the same as everybody. We all kind of have the same background to one degree or another. I started in stocks. I mean, I can't even tell you how long ago. I'm an old guy now, so it's a long time. And got into crypto about, I guess, 8 years now. And over like the last year plus is when I really kind of started, getting more involved in the low cap stuff. And met all these guys about a year ago now. It's same when we were only like a couple thousand members, and it's just been kind of full steam ahead since then. And this is what I do full time. So
cool.
Pretty much all of us.
Cool. That's awesome. All right, TK, how about yourself?
I got started kind of small time back in stocks in like 5-6 years ago now, and I just decided to like go into crypto when I saw TikTok actually from CryptoZin, and that's how I joined the Discord very early. We were like 300 members, and we started actually finding. And the TikTok was about SafeMoon, so that was my first big investment. It was basically the day after it launched or the day of launch. I'm not 100% sure, but and we got a lot of people from the Discord actually investing into it as our first investment very quickly. And you know how that went. So everybody made a lot of money on that. Everybody was hyped. BSC was coming up. It was a big thing. Everybody was just making money head over toes. You know, it was all
Yeah.
over the place. And
Yeah.
it just grew so fast from there. We went from like 400 members to like 5,000 in like 2 days, 3 days, and things just blew out. You know, went crazy.
That's amazing. So,
So
I mean, like, I got in the Safe Moon craze too, and so, I mean, if you make a good call on that, people trust you immediately. So, help me
mm.
to understand, what is CryptoZin about? It's a Discord group, but what are you guys trying to accomplish? What's your number one goal here? What are you trying to accomplish with CryptoZin?
So I think first thing important to say is that, although for a lot of us, Safe Moon was some of our big first crypto investments and whatnot. Really, the focus of CryptoZin has kind of drifted from that kind of more, whether you want to call it meme crypto or low cap. We've kind of drifted from that now to more kind of creditable and vetted projects. Because fundamentally, the low cap stuff isn't going to be here in a year or two, or it'll be highly regulated, as everybody is aware will come one day or another. But in terms of what we're trying to do is, so first of all, CryptoZin is a free Discord. It's 100% free. And essentially, it's about changing people's lives at the core, right? So all of us, particularly the admin team here, we've all had the DMs of, I'll give you one example. When we announced Prize, which was another huge one that we launched, Harry Livingstone was the leader of that. We had a lot of DMs back then. And I remember there was this one guy who said, hey, Ryan, thanks to your call, I was able to marry my wife and put a mortgage down on a house. So, and that totally blew me off guard, right? Is that like somebody that I don't know on the other side of the world? He was able, I think he said at the time that they were engaged for like 5 or 6 years. And he was able to marry his wife because of my call. And he was able to put a mortgage down on a house, which is there, especially here in the UK, if you're saving up for a mortgage on a house, it can take years, depending on your job. Yeah. And overnight, we were able to change somebody's life like that. And this is just one example, really, of a life-changing story. This happens whenever we do a call. We get these DMs. Whenever Josh or TK does a futures call, they get the DMs. We're out here changing people's lives. It's insane.
That sounds amazing. Like, you're able to make a family happen, by just a call. Yeah. on a crypto call, which is fantastic. So I've got two major questions here for you guys, and maybe we could tackle it one at a time. One, what are the types of projects you guys are looking for, and what are the types of projects you've partnered with in the past? And two, we could go into like what kind of people with the money that's being made here. What can someone possibly make? No guarantees, obviously, but I want to know some past projects or some past stories of other people. But first of all, what types of projects have you seen that have partnered with CryptoZin? Are you into? Are you looking forward to in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I can jump in on that one. So to give you an example of some of the projects or the ongoing partnerships really that we have now, one of the big ones that a lot of people are familiar with is Victoria VR, massive metaverse project up and coming. I mean, I remember we talked to them for the first time. They had about, I think it was like 50 or 60 employees. So they were already a good sized crypto project with a lot of funding. We've been working with them from the start. I think now they have like 150 people in their company. Wow. Hundreds of millions in the market cap. Now they had a fantastic launch on KuCoin. So that's one of the ones we're partnering with now. We also have Cryptopolis, who launched with Bluezilla a few months ago. And they actually just literally yesterday, they have their NFT drop on Binance. So that's been a big move for them as well. So that they're making a lot of moves there. But the big thing we're looking for, because obviously, like we talked about, we started off more so as the low cap stuff. And we still do look at the low cap stuff. But we sort of shifted our criteria a little bit. So a little away from the meme stuff. Like we understand that stuff can make people money, and that's great. But we also want to kind of preach safety in it all too, and security. So we have placed more of a focus on some utility-based projects that, whether it be like Web3 projects or metaverse projects, play to earn stuff is obviously a big thing right now. So, and I think this year we're seeing a big play to earn wave. So some of our focus has been on that as well with the gaming aspect of things. So that's just a little example. And just some past projects, like we talked about Safe Moon, we mentioned Prize, and those were both phenomenal close. And we've also had some other, some great winners too, like Rising Sun,
It was some huge ones back in the day. Like we were first in on Elongate, Orfano. Um, we had Safe Mars when that came out. All of these going 200, 300x, making life changing money. And people still are sitting on these gains that they had from these projects now a
Yeah.
year later.
A lot,
And it's,
a lot of people I've talked to, they said, and actually, like with some of our projects in particular, they have come to us directly and said, because of this call, I'm still able to be in crypto. Like I had one guy said, this was my last BNB. He goes, I put it in this project. And it was like a 40x or whatever it was. He goes, I still trade because of that call. So it's really cool to hear some of those stories.
That's insane. That's insane, especially when you're talking about like this is like the stories that people hear who aren't in crypto. They're like, how did you make
Yeah.
40x on an investment?
I'll give you another
It's crazy.
example. I won't say his name, but he's part of our community manager. I would say department, but that sounds a bit too official. But he's part of our team. He invested $1,000 into one of our calls, and he woke up a day or two later, and it was worth 150 grand.
Oh yeah,
150,000 US dollars.
Yep.
1 or 2 days later.
I remember that.
And he's on
Yeah.
our team, right? So it's so, and people think, oh, but to do that, you've got to be in the lottery. You've got to. It only happens to other people you hear about in the news. But if you're in CryptoZin, the calls we do, it happens to a hell of a lot of people.
Well, that's another big thing to kind of tie into that too, is because obviously you talked about we're a free server, but and it's true, a lot of some of this stuff you need to be in like pre-sales or IDOs, and that's really what the big gains are. But that's one of the core focuses of our group is we share that. Like when we get these IDOs, when we get these whitelists, we like a lot of influencers out there, they'll hog them all, they'll take the whole allocation. That what we do is we just give back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the main thing that really separates us from all the other communities out there. So we have people like Victoria VR we just talked about. There were some guys that they were only able to get like a couple $100 into it, and they woke up with 20, 30 grand in the next morning. So it's a big
It's
deal.
amazing. Yeah, I could actually, if you're watching Cowboy, if someone's watching this, I could vouch for this personally. We've had talks about me getting allocations or me get how this partnership looks like between Cowboys and CryptoZin, and I mean, these guys have stressed like, hey, we want to give out more to like all the different community members, and I was very impressed by that. I was like, it was like something that hit home to me because and I know I'm trying to give away 1 Bitcoin, so like I love it when I partner with other people here who are trying to give away a lot of allocations, give a lot of opportunity away. But as far as these projects go, if someone's out here trying to find good projects to invest, and there's just such a myriad, like it's like a smorgasbord, it's a buffet of every single type of crypto, whatever project out there. What is it? And you guys kind of touched on it, but what do you think is a good project to get in? What do you guys look for? I know you said utility, but what kind of utility and what kind of games and what kind of, like what specifics are you looking for?
I was just going to say, so for me, what I look for, so here's the thing. So obviously, to get to where we are at, like you have to know a couple of people, you have to have networked with a bunch of people, right? So we are all in a lot of different circles with various people that share creditable projects. But really past that, when it comes down to the project itself, like for me personally, it's about which project will get on a meeting with you and completely dox themselves. They're transparent. They'll say the pros of the project, the cons of the project, and that's before doing any of the nitty gritty. Checking through the contract and checking over all the other bits and bobs of audits and whatnot. But if it's somebody who's able to get onto a meeting with me with a camera and they'll tell you their flaws and what's good about the project, they're not in a rush to release the project or whatnot, then that for me speaks volumes. It says that this person, even if the project at the present time of the meeting isn't investable, but the person might be. So and then kind of it just snowballs from there, really. And we can obviously help to put them in contact with people from various network and circles and whatnot. But that's the start of it for me. What do you other guys think about that?
I mean, what you said is right. It's not always about the project itself. You're kind of half investing in the team behind the project. They could have the greatest utility in the world and all, everything lined up, but just be a shit team, and it's just not going to go anywhere. So you're, like you have to invest your time and your trust into the people behind the project, and that's Ryan's a good judge of character with that.
I really like what you said there. Like, hey, you guys are getting to know the teams, the people, not just the projects and like the technical stuff, the fundamentals, but like fundamentally, it's like who are you investing in and who are you investing with? And so you mentioned earlier, you said like you guys have a big network and you have these circles that you get into. How are you landing these projects so early, these partnerships so early, and like what kind of allocations are you giving out in CZ and CryptoZin in the Discord group?
Yeah, so I mean, really what we're doing is because of the partnerships we made, we almost can operate as a gateway for a lot of these projects. When they come to us, we're not just like, okay, we're not just a financial backing to these people anymore. We're more so a gateway to other influencers. So whether it be marketing, whether it be larger investors they're looking for. And, I'll let Ryan talk about, because I know he spent a lot of time with DeFi Yield, for example. And we raised well over $100,000. What was it? Total we raised for that? Well over $100,000 of other people that we gave it out to.
$200,000.
Yeah. 200,000. Yeah. Yeah. So we went out. I mean, a couple of the guys on the team were out literally night and day. We were reaching out to different big investors, and within just 3 or 4 days, we had a couple 100,000 worth of people that were able to fill that up.
Yeah, and we, as far as
imagine if that actually goes 10x.
Yeah. And that hasn't launched yet, for what it's worth. Yeah.
And most of these do that. Maybe
that was one of them that we just kind of shared with the entire server. Like if anybody in the server wanted a spot on that, like they had it. So. Yep.
Yeah, because obviously we can't always, in every case, like we do have obviously limitations to that extent, but we share as much as we possibly can in a lot of cases. Like usually, sometimes it's 25, 30, 50 grand, whatever it is. In this case, it was 200 grand, so it was a little different, but.
So, like, if we give you an example,
crazy.
Let's say there's a really creditable project, and let's say they give us $20,000 of IDO allocation, right, or IEO allocation. So, out of that 20,000, typically around about 12 to 15,000 of that will go into the server totally for free, and that's no strings attached to it. If you're in the server and if you join the AMA and if you're just active, you'll get an allocation for free.
Yeah,
and that's as simple as it is. There's no having to do stuff. There's no sweep widgets and all that rubbish. Just be in the server, like you get it for free.
Be in the server, be active, and tell your friends about it, and that's how we build a community. That's it.
So let me get this straight, okay? Someone can just join the free Discord server and just be there, add in their comments, be at the AMAs or whatever, and you're able to take. And if someone doesn't know, like if people are, I'm guessing the crypto space is going, an allocation is just basically the very first pickings at any crypto project, like the crypto coin, like at its very lowest valuation, right? And so if you get, say, something like 20,000 coins or something like that, right? You're able to give out a little bit to everybody in the Discord server. And so you give them out, and you give out as much as you guys can. And so when someone gets it, that you don't have to retweet, you gotta shield these posts, you don't have to do any of that stuff. All you have to do is just be active in the server.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And not to keep bringing up Victoria VR, but just to give you an example, we were basically at the ground stage of something, and this is being compared to the likes of Decentraland and Sandbox. And those are both, as we know, $40-50 billion market cap coins now. And to have the opportunity, just the opportunity alone to be able to be at that first level is pretty amazing.
People just trying to get in on like the Decentraland base level. And so if they could get in something like that, and CryptoZin can be the gateway for that for so many projects, I mean, why not?
I was just going to clarify as well. We don't give out like $5 or $10 spots. Like you'll get a real chunkable allocation on a project.
Yeah.
If you're active and if you manage to get one of the free spots, it's not just $5 or $10. On a $20,000 allocation, you're probably looking at about $500 maybe that you'll be able to get in. And if that, does a times 20 or whatever, you're looking at some good money for the week.
That's awesome. So how often do these allocation drops happen?
Probably more often than we like sometimes. I can tell you right now, we are absolutely flooded with people reaching out to us. So it's difficult to balance them all, to be quite honest with you.
Like how? Like once a week?
We just this week alone, we've had probably 6 meetings. Yeah.
So you're saying if someone joins today, you click the link down below in the comment section or in the description, in 1 week they could see at least two allocation drops if they're active and stuff.
We have at least one plan for next week already. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Minimum one a week.
Yeah.
We could go up to like 3.
We could
It
do more,
depends
yeah.
on if everything looks good, we can keep going. It's just who wants them. If they're good projects, we'll keep them coming.
Yep.
And
But they got to be good.
this works as a way to, like, make sure that you're not giving away terrible projects. You're not buying into some kind of scam coin or whatever. So you're really slowing down the pace and only allowing the best projects to come through.
Yep.
Which is
We
fantastic.
sit in meetings with these guys for like 2-3 hours, every time, vetting them personally, and we talk to them for a long time. We're in contact, and then we might go through with the allocation. And there are many projects we just don't. We skip them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to clear that up too, because obviously that is a core focus of our Discord now, is finding those projects. But we do, because obviously we fully understand there are traders out there that like altcoins. So we have futures trading. There's traders out there that do like some of the meme coins. So what we do in the Discord to kind of make it easy, we have separate distinguishing factors like our vetted calls for IDOs and things like that. We also have some partially vetted stuff that may not be as vetted, but it looks like could potentially be a good project for people to make some money on or invest in. So we do try to cater to more people with that as well. But we make sure we clearly differentiate between what is clearly vetted by us and what it may be a more of a higher risk play.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, we do a lot of AMAs in the server too. Like we'll have some of the smaller projects come in and just do an AMA with Josh, and I'd say almost every time they give us whitelist spots or BNB or something to give away to the community. So that there's that in between all the IDOs. Also, there's just these little whitelist spots or just BNB chances or whatever.
Yeah, we probably do at least a minimum of 3 AMAs a week, and we give away BNB every single time. At the end.
Sometimes you're doing 3 a day.
Yeah, it's like
every day. Sometimes more a day.
That's awesome. So I mean, it's such a way to like change people's lives around the world. You know what I mean? Like these, some people might not have access to the resources that you or I might have, and so they're coming into crypto world with very, very little. And so just to be in a Discord group and just to listen and just to be a part of a community, it's really good to an opportunity to be given back. I've got a question here on the future here of CZ, of CryptoZin. What are the upcoming secret projects that you guys are talking to right now? The projects that I could be excited about? Like, I get that that's all. Victoria, I missed it. I missed the train on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like these other ones, I missed the train on. What are some projects that I could be excited about that's coming to CZ?
So we you put us on the spot here, Aaron. We're telling you our secrets now. So I mean, obviously, there's ADA Finance. That's a big one. That's going to be coming out soon. That, of course, we have allocation for. Another one that's I would say the name, but I know it's going through a rebrand.
I was about to say the same.
So I'll give you the context. I'll give you the context of the story because I can't say it. But put it this way: during its infancy, they had a Telegram channel, and the Telegram only had 100 members in it. Normally, we just leave the Telegram. We don't even bother looking into it. But for some reason, it was late at night, and I checked through the members of the Telegram, and there was every big person in crypto in that Telegram. And I'm talking Launchpad employees. I'm talking whales, like obvious whales that we knew of. There was influencers in there, everybody. So I was there like, whoa, what's up with this? And so I can't say the name, but it is in the Discord under vetted, but it's going through a rebrand shortly. But yeah, so ADA for Finance, there's that one. What else have we got, Josh, coming up?
We have a bunch lined up in the PDE world as well. We have the Unfettered as a PDE game coming out, kind of based on like the Dark Souls for the people that are into that. And we're talking with a couple more actually. I know we're having these meetings every day, so it's tough. But those are the 3 I think right now that we're actively in talks with. That they're launching either, and obviously DeFi Yield, which we already completed our raise for. They launch in March. Yeah. That's another big one we're looking at. We can
name the one that have just partnered with Vulcan, right?
Oh, Bornless, yeah. We actually just finished up an AMA with Bornless. They're launching it's like a horror based FPS game, but the way they're building it is really cool. They've come quite a long way already with their development, and I'm really looking forward to see how much more they can pump out of that game before they launch their token.
So this is great. Like you guys are covering the wide scope of crypto. You got metaverses, you got games, you got finance, you got DeFi in there. So it's a very good exposure to a lot of great different projects in different niches of the crypto space, which I'm excited about. Look, guys, we'll wind down this interview, but before we go, what is like, have we covered everything that CZ has to offer? What else is there, if there's any more? Because how much more can we ask for? Like that CryptoZin that we haven't covered that can
Well, I
offer
mean,
someone.
Josh and
Actually,
TK do it.
yeah.
They do a lot. I mean, daily futures trades and futures calls.
Yeah, TK, you can talk about the futures a little bit if you want to. We do, but that's a lot of things people come in for is the futures trading. Just
We have,
go ahead.
yeah. On top of all these allocations and all that, we are super active and actually have some of the most profitable trading in, I would say, the world. We don't miss a lot of plays, and people are making hundreds of percents on these futures plays every day. Just today, we made, I think, 170%, and then we haven't even been that active because the market's been kind of down. But every day we just trade so much.
Yeah.
And it's all free too. You usually pay a lot of money to get into these kind of signals with some of the best traders in the world, and we're all just free. We just hang out for fun, and it's very good.
So it's basically you get free futures signals if you just join the group too. So that's another.
I was just going to mention, well, Aaron, in terms of your question of what sets CryptoZin apart, essentially, is that when you join a lot of other of these crypto-based discords or platforms, in terms of the people that are out finding the allocations or the more prominent networkers on these platforms, often you find that they're not very engaging with the community. Whereas with CryptoZin, we're all there in the chat with you. We're having daily voice chats and whatnot, and just hanging out. We're talking to everybody, and it's a really personal kind of Discord where everybody knows each other. Like as soon as you go in and say hello, everybody's saying hello to you. Everybody seems to know each other. It's just a really nice place to be, really. Apart from all of the investing in crypto stuff, and I think that's what makes CryptoZin different to a lot of these other discords. You go into them and nobody will say hello to you, and it's all just a little bit too arrogant. But CryptoZin is it's a nice place to be.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because crypto is like a weird space sometimes. It could be super like self-centered, like inward focused, especially these groups. Like people go out of these groups and they get into a group and then they're shilling a particular project but it's for their own bags, or the people running it are just trying to get their own stuff filled. And it's a good community. I always say that, hey, we need like a good community around us when we're into the crypto space, because you just need trusted voices around you. And I think that's the number one thing we could offer them. And the best thing is it's all free. So if you guys are interested, join the CryptoZin Discord. It's totally free, and it's only upside here, and you guys have fantastic moderators and minds behind it. So guys, thank you so much, Ryan, Josh, Pete, and TK, for joining me on the channel. Guys, get into these good projects, but the only way to find good projects is to get a good community around you. Lizard Brains, Gorilla Arms, Diamond Hands, Cowboys always ride together, and we'll see you in the next video.